Hey, good morning, Campoholics. It's a cold January day, and today's video is about your paint. We bought this custom paint job on our Grand Design Momentum $395. I wanted it to pop, I wanted it to look good, I wanted it to shine. And when we got to the dealership to pick it up, there's some issues with it. Stay tuned and I'll tell you more.
I'm Missy.
I'm Mike.
And we're the Campoholics.
When we went to the dealer to do the PDI on this thing, we discovered that the paint had swirl marks in it. Now this is full body paint. I've been told it's a marine paint by a few experts. So we wanted to, but it looked dull. So when we picked it up, it looked dull. I mean, it looks good, but it didn't have that pop to it, didn't have that shine to it. So we got looking at it closely and we see a bunch of swirl marks in it. Now it's very tough to see on camera. However, when the sunlight hits this, you can see the swirl marks from a buffer. Somewhere along the line between the manufacturer and or the dealer, this thing was buffed with a buffer and left swirl marks, or guys in the professional detailer business would call them holograms. Now all down the side, and like I said, it's tough to see unless the sun is hitting it directly, but these swirl marks, the professional will say, alters the course of the sunlight bouncing off of it, and therefore taking away the buff and or the shine of it. So we refused to take delivery of this unit until they did something about the paint. I mean, I paid, you know, upwards of $8 grand for this full body paint. On the MSRP sheet, they charge $12,000 for this full body paint. So the dealership and the manufacturer agreed to go ahead and take care of it, having to give us a credit for a professional detailer to come out and really professionally buff this, wax it, lift those swirls out of this paint, and have it shining again with a good polishing. So we're going to check this out. He's coming over today, scheduled to come out today, him and his worker, and shine this thing up. Once it warms up a little bit, you see there's still frost on here, but here's evidence, and he pointed this out to me, that this thing has been buffed before. There's a buffer mark or a wax mark right there. So I didn't pay all this money to have swirl marks in my paint. So this is the before, which again is hard to see on the camera, but hopefully the after will really pop, and I'll show you what's going on with it. When he gets here, I'll have him explain a little bit more in detail about this full body paint and what a manufacturer and or dealer can do to really mess it up when they think they may be doing good. I don't know. I don't know what their thought was behind having to buff this thing, but we'll see what happens. When he gets here, I'll have him tell us a little bit more in detail about it. There's some nice ones there. There's some real good ones there. Hopefully that works out. Hopefully you can see it. But when the sun shines on it in the daytime, you can see it. Looks like if somebody took a needle and just scratched the heck out of it, or with sandpaper. So yeah, I didn't pay all this money. There's a good one. Or swirl scratch marks all over the paint. So yeah, there you go. There's some good ones right there. So that's what you can see when you stand back from it. As a matter of fact, there we go. How they just run up and down the paint, top to bottom. So that's what I was dealing with. Maybe we can see that from far too. So when you look left or right of the paint, you can see the swirl marks. And that sucked. Was not happy about that. Oh, there's it. There we go. And notice I don't shine as much. There's not a mirror, as much of a mirror effect.
Yeah, so where's your jacket with your name? Bro, I'm not big money. I don't have a jacket. I got sweatshirts. Good for the winter.
So he's doing the correction?
Yeah.
Right. And you're polishing.
It's a little bit of a cleanup. So any haze that might be left over from the compound,
Yeah.
this is gonna clear it up. And it's also laying down the SiO2 or the protection on the back end of it. And then that's why we let it sit like that. It's already up top. Let it sit for 15, 20 minutes and bond to the surface. And then just come back and remove the residual.
All right. I show them how you do the light test.
The light test?
Yeah.
That's just it just kind of replicates the sun without washing all of it out, so you can see like any little defect. Like, let me see. Well, here you can see the before here where they kind of hit it, like all those little buffer trails.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it enhances. And then once you go back with that, you check it to make sure you refined all that. But that's basically what you're seeing when the sun hits it.
Right. Yeah, it looks dull when the sun hits it.
Yeah, and then you're seeing all this like a snake almost.
Right.
So, yeah, because it's like in the shade it makes it look good, but then when the sun hits it, you see all the little swirls, and then it takes away the gloss and everything. But yeah, under there is where it's bad.
Oh yeah, I see the lines now.
Yeah.
Damn, that looks bad.
Yeah,
all right.
so that's basically why we check it the whole way, to make sure you're removing it all. But yeah, that's basically what you had all down the side and all that.
All right, this is, what's your name again?
Joey.
This is Joey from
Rise and Shine.
Rise and Shine Detailing. And where are you located?
Crofton, Maryland.
Crofton, Maryland. Now here we have Brandon from Brandon Beeswax. And you're located out of Salisbury, Maryland.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So the diagnosis from earlier was that we had, I guess when we picked it up, somebody before we picked it up had tried to buff it. Correct?
Yeah.
Right.
Use the rotary machine on it, and just improper techniques / finishing out of the actual compounding.
All right. And so what your business does is you make the corrections, or explain that a little bit.
So basically, I mean, we have both types of machines. We have the rotaries, and we also have, these are our DA machines. So a rotary, it basically it spins on a single axis or a spindle and just goes in a big circle, and it creates a lot of heat, which is what will cause the marring and the hazing, the northern lights of the buffer trails, is what I call them.
Traditional buffers that people seem to use.
Body shops. The body shops are very common, car dealerships, and we run into this problem a lot from car dealerships. Okay. So in the DA machines, they not only spin in a circle, but they also oscillate in just a random pattern, so it doesn't create that heat spot in the one specific spot that you're working.
Okay.
So yeah, basically, you know, we've been down this whole side in the back now, and we're basically going and finishing out or correcting, you know, the problems, the defects, and the buffer trails and the scratches that were in there too, from the dealer or the, you know, whoever had this before you took delivery of it.
Okay. All right. You want to tell us about the product you're using or anything like that?
So basically, you can see we've already got a whole bunch of spent pads. We've got, you know, our new pads back there. So what we do,
so they're one and done.
Somewhat. We can go, we have compressed air that we can blow the pads out with.
Okay.
We also have our brushes, our pad cleaning claws, or tools that we can, you know, it agitates and gets the spent compound or polish out of there.
All right.
So what we've done, We have our Eco Shine mixed up from Shine Supply back there. So we've done an Eco Shine wash on this whole side and the nose. Well, we haven't done the front of the nose yet, but that was our wash method being that, you know, the trailer or the RV wasn't completely disgusting dirty. So it was just a light dust, some, you know, light dirt places. So we saturated with Eco Shine and then just do like a proper, you know, waterless wash method with our microfiber towels.
Okay.
All the way down. Once we're done that, then we took our machines. This is the compound that we ended up going with, Shine Supply Classic Cut. We tried a number of them with a number of different pads, and we found that the Classic Cut mixed with our orange HDO foam pad was getting us the best results with, you know, minimum marring, hazing in the single step. And then we're literally coming behind it with the Shine Supply Wake Up, which is kind of, if you want to compare it to like a cleaner wax, but it's got a little bit of SiO2 in it, which is the main chemical in ceramic coatings. So it's not only cleaning up any haze that the compound might have left behind in the paint, but it's also adding that, you know, ceramic, so to speak, protection behind it.
Okay. All right. So this on a soft wash, or you don't recommend a? Well, tell me how somebody should maintain this shine.
To maintain it, quite honestly, with something this size, the easiest way, if you were to use a traditional wash method, would be to, I would say, get a foam cannon, which you hook right into a pressure washer.
Right.
And being that we are going to have protection on here now going forward, you could use either Shine Supply Shift, which is a ceramic specific soap, or you could use Shine Supply Shine Soap, which is also for vehicles with already protection on it. It's not going to strip any protection that you have on there. Okay. Or quite honestly, you could do Eco Shine washes too. That's perfectly safe, as long as you like haven't kicked up a whole lot of like mud, dirt down the side, which you could then pressure wash off and do an Eco Shine wash. So either way is perfectly safe, but those would probably be my top 3 preferred methods.
Okay. All right. Super. All right, tell us how people get a hold of you. Where you at? Oh, you're over by the Bay Bridge.
Yeah, Carlton's kind of central of like DC, Baltimore, and everything. So
Okay.
it's like about 20 minutes past the Bay Bridge.
Okay.
But usually through our website or call or email, usually you can get a hold of us.
All right.
The number is usually 240-544-7473.
You're on the west side of the Bay Bridge.
Yes.
Okay. Super. All right. So the DC crowd can come to you.
Yes.
All right. All right, Brandon. How people get a hold of you?
Mainly call 443-235-2555. Or if you need be, text. I try to stay away from that though. It kind of gets lost in translation because you get so many messages.
Yeah.
But you know, I have people, Facebook Messenger, people hit me up on there, but easiest way is to call, leave a voicemail. I'll, you know, get back to you as soon as I can. That's probably the best way.
On the Eastern Shore.
Yep.
All right, super. All right, guys, I'll let you continue on. It looks super.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to it.
It's gonna shine.
It's going to shine. Hit that sunlight hits it. All right, Echo. Let's go, boy. Come on. All right, Campoholics, this is day 2 of the joint effort of the correction to the paint from the shitty work of somebody. I don't know who did the shitty work, for lack of a better word. I had no other better word for it. But Rise and Shine Detailing and Brandon's Bees Wax Detailing are here to knock out the driver's side of the RV and get it all done today. So it should be nice and shiny and pretty for the trail. Can't wait to see the end result, especially in the sun, man. When that thing's in the sunlight, it's going to look pretty. So what's your plans for the cap today?
For the cap is pretty much the majority of the big flat open surfaces are pretty much cut. And then what we're gonna do, I need to go back and cut in on some of the littler spots with one of our 3-inch or the smaller orbital machines. And he's actually getting right now, he's getting the very top where it's kind of oxidized. It doesn't get as much attention. But besides that, the cap is pretty much ready for ceramic coating. and then after that we'll apply that. It'll start to do its bonding and curing time, and then we'll start working down this the driver's side next and get that tackled.
All right, this one, this side has just been done, completed. So as you can see, I am facing the unit, and it's like a mirror how much gloss is on this thing. There are no marks in it anymore. Looks good, nice and shiny.